Before the world knew his name, there was a moment when everything could have fallen apart. A young man stood at one of the biggest crossroads of his life. He had been accepted into one of the most prestigious universities in the world. His future looked secure. His family believed he was on the perfect path. But deep inside, he couldn't stop thinking about one thing: computers. People around him saw them as complicated machines for scientists and large companies. He saw the future. One decision would force him to choose between a guaranteed education and a dream that almost nobody believed in. If he failed, he would lose everything. But if he succeeded, the world would never be the same. Before we begin, if you enjoy motivational stories that inspire real change, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new story. Success doesn't always begin with applause. Sometimes it begins with people questioning your choices. Sometimes it begins with fear. Sometimes it begins with walking away from the safest road you've ever known. This is the story of Bill Gates, a young man whose vision helped shape the personal computer revolution and changed how billions of people live and work. Bill Gates was born in Seattle, Washington, into a family that valued education, discipline, and ambition. His parents wanted him to achieve something meaningful in life. As a child, Bill was different. He loved reading, he asked endless questions, he enjoyed solving difficult problems that most kids avoided. Then one day, he discovered computers. At that time, computers were incredibly rare. They were expensive, enormous machines that very few people could even touch. But the first time Bill had the opportunity to use one, something clicked. He wasn't just interested, he became obsessed. He spent countless hours learning how to write computer programs. Every mistake became another lesson. Every problem became another challenge to solve. Many people couldn't understand why he spent so much time staring at a screen. But Bill wasn't wasting time. He was preparing for a future that nobody else could yet imagine. During those years, he met someone who shared the same passion: Paul Allen. The two friends spent hours discussing technology and dreaming about what computers could become. Their conversations sounded unrealistic. They believed that one day, every home and every office would have a personal computer. Most people laughed. Why would ordinary people ever need one? That idea sounded impossible, but neither of them stopped believing. Eventually, Bill earned admission to Harvard University. For millions of students, getting into Harvard would have been the dream. For Bill, it felt like another step towards something even bigger. Even while attending classes, his mind kept returning to technology. He studied, he learned, but every spare moment pulled him back toward computers. Then, in 1975, everything changed. Paul Allen showed Bill an article about a new computer called the Altair 8800. To many people, it looked like just another machine. To Bill and Paul, it looked like the beginning of an entirely new industry. They immediately contacted the company and said they could create software for the machine even before they had actually finished building it. It was a huge risk. Now they had to deliver. For weeks, they worked with relentless focus. Long days became longer nights. Sleep became optional. Failure wasn't. Finally, they completed a version of the programming language BASIC for the Altair. The demonstration was successful. It proved something important. Their skills could solve real problems. But success created an even bigger decision. Bill realized that the personal computer industry was beginning much faster than anyone expected. If he stayed at Harvard, he might miss the opportunity of a lifetime. If he left, there were no guarantees, no backup plan, no certainty, only belief. What would you choose? The safety of a world-famous university, or a dream that almost everyone thought would fail? For most people, the answer would have been easy. Stay in school, get the degree, build a safe career. But Bill Gates made a decision that shocked many people around him. he left Harvard. Not because education didn't matter, but because he believed the opportunity in front of him might never come again. Together with Paul Allen, he founded Microsoft. At the beginning, Microsoft wasn't the giant company we know today. It was just two young men with a vision, working long hours in a small office, chasing a future that didn't exist yet. Money was limited, competition was growing, every day brought new problems, software had to work, customers had to trust them. Deadlines couldn't be missed, one mistake could damage everything they had built. Bill became known for his relentless work ethic. Some days he barely slept. He reviewed lines of code himself. He challenged his team to improve every product. He believed that if something could be better, it should be better. Not everyone liked his demanding style. Some people criticized him. Others doubted that personal computers would ever become common. Many companies believed computers were only for experts. But Bill never lost sight of the bigger picture. He wasn't building software for today. He was building software for tomorrow. Then another opportunity arrived. IBM was preparing to launch its first personal computer and needed an operating system. For a young company like Microsoft, this was the biggest opportunity they had ever seen. If they failed, their dream could disappear overnight. Bill moved quickly. Microsoft secured the rights to an operating system, improved it, and licensed it to IBM as MS-DOS. It was one of the smartest business decisions in technology history. That agreement placed Microsoft at the center of the personal computer revolution. But even then, success didn't arrive overnight. There were sleepless nights, endless debugging, constant pressure. Competitors were getting stronger. Every new product had to be better than the last. One mistake could send customers somewhere else. Many critics believed Microsoft wouldn't stay on top for long, but Bill ignored the noise. Instead of celebrating yesterday's success, he focused on tomorrow's challenge. He kept asking one question: how can we make this better? That simple mindset pushed Microsoft forward again and again. Slowly, homes began buying personal computers. Schools started using them. Businesses depended on them. The dream that people once laughed at was becoming reality, and Microsoft was helping lead that transformation. The impossible was no longer impossible. It was happening right before the world's eyes. But Bill's greatest impact was still ahead. As Microsoft continued to grow, millions of people around the world began using its software every single day. What had started in a small office with a big dream was now changing the way the world worked, learned, and communicated. The young man who once walked away from Harvard had become one of the most influential entrepreneurs in history. But Bill Gates believed that success wasn't the finish line. It was a responsibility. After leading Microsoft for many years, he began focusing on something even bigger: helping people. Through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, he invested billions of dollars to improve global health, expand education, and fight diseases that affected millions of lives. His mission was no longer just about building software. It was about creating a better future. Looking back, it's hard to imagine what the world would look like if Bill had chosen the safe path. What if he had listened to every critic? What if fear had stopped him? What if he had waited for the perfect moment? The answer is simple. The world might have missed one of its greatest innovations. That's why his journey still inspires millions of people today, not because he never failed, but because he refused to let failure make his decisions. Here are 3 lessons from Bill Gates' story. Lesson 1: the biggest opportunities often look like the biggest risks. Don't let fear decide your future. Lesson 2: talent may open the first door, but discipline, consistency, and hard work keep that door open. Lesson 3: never stop learning. The moment you think you know everything, you stop growing. Maybe you're standing at your own crossroads today. Maybe people don't believe in your dream. Maybe you've been rejected. Maybe you've failed more times than you can count. Remember this: every successful person was once an unknown beginner. Every extraordinary achievement started with one ordinary decision. You don't have to change the whole world tomorrow. You just have to take the next step today. As Bill Gates once said, success is a lousy teacher. It seduces smart people into thinking they can't lose. Stay humble. Keep learning. Keep moving forward. One decision can change your life. And one day, your story might inspire someone else to never give up. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this story with someone who needs it today.